What's up, guys? Postmodern Cyril here. Just finishing off the arena season. 5,130 isn't as high as I want it to go, but it's pretty solid. I missed out on Minerva being the bonus unit from last time. It made the score a little bit better, but Vanguard Ike did add a little bit to it. I know the title of the video should be 5-star showcase, but I want to just let you guys know how this is going. And I think my teams are finally coming along because I managed to finally break 5,000 on Arena Assault, and I think I need a few more weeks to build up the rest of the team so we can try to see if we can match my AA score with my regular arena score. Let's go ahead and get into the gist of it. So I felt like this is kind of a weird video to make because it's not that interesting, I don't think, but then again, some people have been asking me about certain units that showed up in the past that I may or may not have used a lot, and I know they don't get a chance to shine in the spotlight because most of my gameplay, when it's not like Grand Hero Battle on stream, it's just a tier 20 arena, and so you see the same like 4 or 5 units cycle in and out with like a bonus unit. So this is a way of kind of showing you guys that I do have other units and I do care for them, I do build them. Some of them are pity breakers, so you'll see kind of a little bit of neglect. It's not also just neglect, it's more that I just don't really know what I'm going to do with said unit at the time. So let's go ahead and get started with Era. So this is my plus 3 Era. You guys might remember her if you're already a regular viewer from the time that I fed her like 3 5-star exclusives, Hector, Nephany, and Saber, which I don't think anyone was crying over Saber. But everyone was a little bit fired up about the rest. Since then, she's become kind of instrumental in taking on teams in Arena Assault where there's like a strong green mage or an armored green mage like Bowie, and she does really well. It's also nice to note that even though she's designed as a kind of mixed phase counter, like she can initiate with her 41 speed, or she can tank with her like threat and attack distant counter. And retaliate. So she plays so well. I'll admit that I've gotten really used to using tanks in arena. So it's nice to have a unit that can do a little bit of both. It's really nice. I remember initiating against a plus 10 Ike with Era, and I was so surprised that she KOs him, but it's because of her speed and her low count special. So yeah, I went with Slaying Edge build. Because just trying to get to that Ragnarok Astra a little bit faster, although Era's blade is totally fine. And no, she does not need distant counter, she does not need wrath. You can go with literally the stock build, it should be great. And I have this Carol. I think he was in the last 5-star showcase and he's still level 1, no building yet. Honestly guys, he's gonna be SI fodder. I know there's somebody out there who loves Carol. And more power to you, but unfortunately for me, it's not going to be a thing. He was the star of like level 1 arena, which was really fun. If you want to catch that on my stream, I'll try that again. Yeah, I'm just honestly waiting for a unit that can inherit Wodao. I might give it to Black Knight, even though Alondite is really cool. Seeing Luna with plus 10 damage almost always guarantees a KO, so we'll see about that. Then we have my Erica. Now, she was somebody I tried to summon for in the past. My first 5-star was like a dedicated summons, but I got like minus speed plus defense or something. And then I got another minus attack plus HP. All the IVs for this Erica have been really terrible, and it's really sad to see that. I don't even remember what the IVs are now. If anyone watching wants to be like, oh, she's like plus res minus attack or plus res minus speed, whatever. I just know that the IVs weren't optimal, and that's kind of okay because she's made more to like buff up units than really fight. So I gave her like a really stock kit, like, you know, drag back because she's probably not going to KO, Moonbow because she probably will proc her hit. It's really standard. The dual rally is in there so that she can buff up a few more things than just attack, speed, defense, and rest. So she does everything all at once. So there's no need to give her a seal to increase the buff that she gives, but I did leave it blank because I don't actively use her, as I don't really rely on infantry blades that much, but she can work with any infantry team. Then I have my Joshua, who I was leveling until I saw some really fun builds with double close defense. So I still have a 4-star somewhere. So if I end up giving this one up, I still have close defense, or I still have a Joshua to build up. I feel like he's really cool to use, but unless I give him DC, I won't really get to get the most out of his high res. So that's just me. Then we have my +7 Ike. Nothing much to say here. Really stock kit. QR2 because I'm on a budget, despite what people think when they watch my summons or see my units. Oh, +7 Ike, how is that budget? Like, alright. Ike has been around for how long now? And he was actually a pity breaker. He showed up about as often as Sanaki did during the first legendary banner, that Vanguard Ike. That Sanaki showed up on her. Oh, that sentence is so confusing. This Ike showed up almost as much as Sanaki did on his legendary banner as she did on hers, so it was pretty irritating. I was trying to get one Celica and I never got a Celica, so I'm gonna have to go with this. Yeah, +7. I'm waiting for another banner with him, and then we're getting those last 3, and we're gonna go +10 on that Ike. And I have Mia. Mia is so much fun to use. If you guys have one and you're debating on like, should I give Flashing Blade to somebody? I know I talk about a couple of units I just talked about are mostly going to be like fodder projects. Mia is one of those units that you should really consider keeping because one, she's cute as heck. Look at her little puff. And then 2, she's just a lot of fun. You can go with Moonbow to guarantee a special proc every battle, or you can go with Luna for a little bit of extra damage. I go with Luna because she procs it like nothing, and she's so much fun. She's what Aira isn't, whereas Aira makes you feel a little bit meh about, you know, like, she's an amazing unit, don't get me wrong, Aira's great, but Ragnar Oster just feels dirty. Whereas there's something pure about Mia. I don't know what it is, but I really like Mia over her. Then we have Vanguard Ike, +1. Really good unit. Surprisingly, I got I think plus defense minus speed, which is okay because he's a bit of a slowpoke and he's going to be running QR2. My Ike is plus speed, my regular Ike, and he gets doubled all the time. So I really don't want to hear about how your Ike, who's plus speed, just dominates in tier 16 arena against, like, I don't know, like 4-star Nino. Like, that doesn't help me at all. But I'm glad that you're seeing the use out of your speedy Ike. But honestly, plus speed, I couldn't care less. Either attack or bulk is for me, because I feel like Ike gets the most out of like enemy phase engagements. You can play mixed phase by attacking and then having like Vantage in the B slot and then having QR seal, which is actually pretty neat. But yeah, I don't know if Vanguard Ike will win the voting thingy, the Hero Rises, but if he does, that's cool. We got Sayla in the background. Then we have my Lucina. The second they announced the Falchion upgrade, I could not wait to refine it. I think it's an amazing, it's a Spectrum buff, I guess, to herself. So that's it's a bond, sorry, a bond, not a buff. So yeah, I think that pushes her attack to 58, her speed to 44, her defense to 37, which isn't the greatest, but it's still pretty good, and res to a respectable 23. Not respectable, but something that she might be able to survive like a green mage. But I think it's really cool. Lucina was one of the first few 5-stars that I ever pulled in this game on this second account. My first 5-star was Hector, so it's just nice seeing that she got a little bit of love thrown in with her refinement. It was really cool. And I don't know if I'll keep this kit, but I really like Renewal Fury. It adds sustainability to her, and for chain challenges or anything like that, like she does really well. Even Tempest Trials, although she hasn't been like a bonus unit in a while. You know, Mass Marth. Mass Marth I'm building really slowly until I see whether or not they release the... I know everyone gets a little bit mad when they do, oh, Mass Marth again. But I know some people out there with like +5 Mass Marths, and they actually want Mass Marth to be a bonus unit, just like myself, because it'd be nice to get like a +10 Falchion user that you don't have to wail for. So I'm really hoping that they release a couple more Marths this year, Mass Marths that is. So, and then I will totally devote more resources, because Fury 1 Renewal 2, this is like kind of bad. But yeah, and also probably need to level her, him, them, no spoiler. This is my adorable Adorer Soleil. So summoning for her initially was really kind of tough. if you guys want to know more about that, I have like all the videos for summoning for Soleil are up. And it seemed like she wasn't coming home for the longest time. That I think on one of the videos I just called it like Sadness Sweep Plus or something, because she just wasn't coming home. And she finally did, and then she got demoted, which I'm totally not upset about, because 2 of these merges are from upgrading her from 4 stars to 5 stars. So I'm really liking how she's coming along. I might take out Life and Death for Swiss Sparrow, just so that her defense comes, because when you merge units, they gain stats in defense and res a lot, and it's annoying to see when they don't go to attack speed. It's just how the game works. It's like it balances out your stat gains. So I feel like if I have Life and Death on a unit and like they're getting defense and res, it feels like a waste. So I want to add something that doesn't minus her so bad. But for now, she's really good. Really, really stock kit. Nothing amazing here, but she's so much fun to use, and she is amazing. Then we got Arden. I'll admit, I overlooked Arden a lot. Like, he has been MVP on a lot of the armored quests from GHB Elite. His build is super budget, aside from Slaying Edge. I had so many sabers, guys. Like, I didn't know what to do. So defense plus 3 was really good though. Even though he does better with Earth Boost or Fury or Steady Stance. I wanted to show how low investment you could go into it, and he didn't have Slaying Edge until like recently. He needs a refine in this. I'll probably do refine for more defense. His Ignis will proc for even more damage. And you can go for Bonfire. He still KOs pretty much anything. I like that he can be a mix of player phase with follow-up ring and enemy phase with this high bulk. We have Black Knight, +1. I did not upgrade the 4-star Black Knight. He's still 4-star. I merged the one that you get from like that free like $4.99 pack. If you're free to play and you're all proud about that, that's great. But if you really want the best deal of anything you're gonna spend in this game, buy the Black Knight pack. It is amazing. It gives you orbs, stamina potions, Light's Blessings, which lets you finish those weird quests where you have to clear like a story map without having to worry about anything, and then you get one of the best units in the game. So really, really consider buying that, you guys. Yeah, and I think he's built as well as I could build him. Then again, I'll always budget. We're always on a budget, so that's why when people say, oh, like, Sirius big whale, blah, 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 it cracks me up, because if I was a whale, this unit would be running like Steady Breath, not Steady Stance, Vantage 3, and just other cool stuff. But he's really good for what he is. We have my Pity Breaker. I kind of want to include in the title, like, Spot the Pity Breaker. I was trying to get the last Micaiah, and I ended up getting Jet Black General Zelgius, which is not bad. He's an amazing unit. He slightly power creeps regular Black Knight by having a little bit better stats. Being, I guess, you can merge him to like +10. Fierce Stance is so cool though. So this might end up going to my Myrrh over time. If I decide on keeping the Heavy Blade kit over her other builds, I definitely will go with Steady or Fierce Stance. I don't plan on building him. I know he's a favorite for a lot of you guys out there. I like Knights to a degree, but I'm really bad with them, and I think having 2 of the same unit is kind of meh. Then we have my Ziggy Stardust, Holy Knight. Now, he was really overhyped when he came out, and he ended up still doing his job, right? He can take Reinhardt's down and all this other cool stuff. You can build him where he has distant defense in the seal, distant counter and distant defense. Really cool unit, and a lot of people were worried about how Seliph was, so they upgraded Seliph's weapon. That was really interesting. He still shows up a lot on random teams. He always does better than I think he's going to, and it's always nice seeing like a really high merge blue unit like try to one-shot him, and he can still survive thanks to his builds. Dragback was on him only because I needed him to do a particular role in GHB Elite, but I'll be switching back to Crusader's Ward later. We have my Pity Breaker Eld again. I wasn't sure what I was summoning for anymore for this one, but he just kind of showed up, and I was like, hey, that's really neat. We got Fury 3, and we can refine his Mistletoe to do Fury 6. So I should be building him pretty soon. It does feel a little bit redundant though, because I feel like Roy does a good job of, I'll move on to the next unit. Ray does a good job of player phase being a player phase Cavalier, and Ziggy Stardust does a better job of being a defensive Cavalier. Then we have Cheetah, and I'm really happy what they did with her weapon. They actually gave her wing sword, which I'm so happy they did that. They didn't make her a lancer, which is nice too, because we have a ton of flying lancers. But wing sword is amazing. I'm leveling her up at the moment. I do want to wait for double SP since she still needs all her other skills and her refinement. So look forward to seeing that. I can't wait to see her in AA later on, Arena Assault. Then we have my surprisingly high merge Alencia. Now, I was trying to summon for Tana on the latest banner, but Alencia showed up instead, so I decided to switch my focus to her, and she has been a lot kinder in appearing in the summonings. She's +5. I gave her Swiss Barrow just so that her res could go up to something where she could maybe tank a little bit of a green and then counter with that. Now this build is completely dependent on her team to move her around. I took out Flyer Formation for Desperation 3, Death Blow for Swiss Barrow, and I went in with Ardent Sacrifice so she can get into Desperation range. With this build, she can quad and initiate Moonbow twice if she has to. Now there's a lot of people out there saying like, why would she need 2 Moonbows? The enemy should die. If you played in the higher tiers with the teams that give you around 730, even higher than that sometimes, the regular amount of damage you think is acceptable is not. So you really need a ton of damage to one-shot units at those merges. So Alencia is really good for that. Then we have my young Tiki. I feel like I haven't been able to use her as much because my other dragons for my team are they're much further along, but I didn't completely leave her behind. I refined her weapon to give her defense +4. I might do this again with Naui that I have, an extra Naui to refine res, just in case I want her to be a mixed tank. She does a way better job of being a mixed tank than the regular Tiki, but getting young Tikis is pretty hard, so I didn't invest too much into her. Then we have Tiki grown up. You might see her in my whale watching videos too. She's working on her summoner support with Myr. She's got the standard kit for dragons. I give her distant defense because her defense is really high. I counter her mostly to take out bow units. Again, I focus mostly on defense with the refinement, but I might do a mixed tank lightning breath down the road if I ever need it. She can tank Julius to some degree now, but if I do add res to her, she'll be able to do it better. Then we have my Wayward one, Katarina. I gave her stock Rotherblade. I don't think I gave her plus yet. I don't think she's like good IVs either, if I remember correctly, but it doesn't really matter. It's fun to use her with like Performing Azura sometimes to clear like a chain challenge or something else. Then we have Arvis. Now Arvis is a favorite of one of my subscribers, one of my longtime subscribers I guess now, and I do use him occasionally. He does become one of the best healers just because of how much he can regen, and his debuffs are amazing. Sadly, the arena gameplay doesn't really support me using Arvis because of his low BST and his every unit in there is running distant counter, and even somebody like an Amelia will just one-shot him after he initiates, so it's a little bit sad. Then we have Lilina. Lilina has been sadly a pity breaker on any banner with a good red. She's shown up at least once, and then I have another one right here. I do want to build her eventually, don't get me wrong. It's just that I'm really crossing my fingers for a Celica, and instead I get like these guys. That's a little bit upsetting, but that's okay. Then we have my +4 Sanaki because I dumped all my free-to-play orbs into Legendary Banner just so I wouldn't feel bad about having to summon on it. I still don't particularly like Legendary Hero Banners, but I got my 2 Ikes with really low orbs, and I thought maybe I could get that luck again, and instead I got 5 Sanakis, so what are you gonna do? I plan on building her as well. I'm not gonna go for anything like premium. I'm gonna go with a stock kit and just refine her Cymbeline. She'll be cool for mixed emblem though. And then I have, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce her title, but Erica, not Brave Erica, because a lot of people think she's brave. She is not brave. Brave Erica is gonna be an infantry unit with better stats and better buffs and stuff. Or at least let them refine Siglent. But anyway, this Erica is really cool too. I didn't give her anything outside of what she already has, but she's really fun to use. She's been one of the units I use a lot in the GHB Elite. Her art is just stunning. Like, man, this is like performing Olivia kind of level of art, and she's a character I've really liked a lot. Sadly, I couldn't use a regular Erica as much because she just wasn't optimal, and she's not yet, but she's gonna get there. So yeah, nothing major with her yet. She's just wonderful to use, and I really like her dialogue, and she's just a throwback to Leon. So that's really cool. Then we have Halloween Naui. I got 2 minus attack. They had both terrible. I think the other one was minus attack plus defense, and this was minus attack plus something else. I went with this build with this one just because I needed the slightly stat boost for arena. But she is awesome. Flyers are my second go-to team for any PvE content, so you see Naui in those builds a lot. And then this is a unit that you can actually get from completing Book 2. The story map's on Book 2 and you get it for free, so make sure you count on that. Really stock kit here. Took out Ice Mirror for Iceberg because she has like 36 res. We have Ephraim. She is currently partnered with Erica because sibling power. Nothing major here. I might want to swap out Fury down the road just so that if I refine Sigmund, he can keep doubling on initiation. Then we have my Summer Robin. She's built completely budget. She doesn't even have a C slot. I plan on using her a little bit more later, but for now, I think I have enough Lancers really to get me through it. Then we have Tana. Now I've tried summoning for Tana so much in the past and she just won't come home. So I'm just stuck with this unmerged Tana, which is okay. Her IVs aren't the greatest, sadly. I forget what they are, but I think she's minus attack or minus speed. I forget which. But she's really cool. She's tanky as heck, and I like using guidance on mixed teams. It's really fun. Then we have another go-to for me. Cordelia, Fire Sweep, and Gale Force. Now, Fire Sweep, Gale Force might seem kind of weird and counterintuitive, but with Arizura, she can get like 2 turns per turn, so it's really fun. We have Naui. Not a whole lot to say here. She's plus 10. She was my very first plus 10 unit. A lot of luck into summoning her went in there, but then a lot of feathers, at least, what, 100,000 feathers? I don't remember exactly how many, but a ton of feathers went into this. So yeah, she's just refined for defense, but she's actually plus attack, I believe, so it's curious. Then we have Pity Breaker Naui, who sadly doesn't have the plus defense that I was looking for, although it is nice to have Lightning Breath that I can play around with, maybe refine it and inherit it. Oh, did I skip over? I skipped over Claire. This is my Claire. She's a Pity Breaker as well. Sadly, but I might end up building her down the road. I really like Echoes, Shadows of Valentia. It's just that it's kind of a lot of the units from that banner just got like a really harsh treatment as far as IVs go, as far as kits go. So she just ends up being like a worse Cordelia. I think she can get as fast as her, but definitely not as strong, which is a little sad. Then we have Pity Breaker May. I know May is a favorite of a lot of people, and I really liked her in the game as well. This one, I feel like she is really good too, but she serves kind of a redundant role because you'll see my other blue mages. There's just no real reason to build her up other than having another blue mage for Arena Assault, which I still will. You can see that I was training her up, so I will revisit her down the road. Alright, then we have one of my absolute favorite characters from Shadows of Valentia, absolute favorite characters in the game, and absolute favorite units for PvE content. This is my Delphia, Free Spirit. She's got pretty much a stock kit going. I did give her, where is it? LND3 and Desperation for when I'm using her, but I like this kit for what is it? I like this kit for defensive teams. I sometimes put on my defensive team just to cheese a win with Death Blow and Wings of Mercy. Works out really nicely. If you're not sure what to do for your defensive team, just go Wings of Mercy. We got Pity Breaker Taltui. Not much to say here. She's really great, but her Blar Blade is gonna go to somebody else, so she's gonna be gone. Then we have Loot Perfection in the Flesh. She is amazing. Like, oh my gosh. If you watched my earlier videos, I think I summoned for Loot a couple times. It was very like lukewarm, but if a Loot banner comes now, I'm going to get more Loots. Like, it's just, I have to. She's so much fun to use. And she's like really sassy too. yeah, you can't beat those quotes. So she's just hilarious, and her attack is so staggering. Granted, this is plus attack. My other one was minus attack plus speed, but she's really fast and strong. But she also has a ton of res, so I feel like she's a mix of like Deirdre with like Delphia kind of playstyle. So I really like her. And then my plus 9 Micaiah, she was supposed to be plus 10, but that's okay. Where Lute and Delphia fall short, Micaiah fills in the gaps. She one-shots any plus 10 knight almost any time. Unless they're like Lissa or Sheena, she won't. But even then, she can sometimes double them when we use Desperation and Brash Assault. Okay, then we have my Olwen. I got her from a free summon, but sadly she's minus attack, and she already has a really low attack. I'm still gonna work with her though, because she's a lot of fun to use. Just for fun, just for like fun runs, like clear chapter 5, and it doesn't matter what difficulty, then I'll use my Olwen. I like her a lot better than Reinhardt. Then we have my La Rochelle. I was really excited when I summoned her randomly. I wasn't going for any unit in particular. I was just using my 5 orbs because I can't save my orbs apparently. But she ended up having really bad IVs. But I luckily pulled a 4-star with slightly better IVs, so I'll be working on her once I have the feathers to commit. And she might actually get Taltui's Blar Blade, so sorry Taltui. Then we have my Ike. He is completely unleveled because I'm debating on which dragon to feed him to. I might feed him to Faye, although Faye does better with Warding Breath and Steady Breath. And I might feed him to Corrin, who might not get any breath skill at all. She might just get Triangle Adept. So we'll see what happens with Ike. He's kind of sitting in limbo until he gets fed to somebody. My Performing Azura, really cool. It's weird to see her winning some of the Hero Fest, or Hero Rises, what is it, Hero Rises votes, but I can see why. A lot of people missed out on her. A lot of people really like her. A lot of people just have like plus 5 Indigo because they got Pity Broken. So if you get her, I mean, she's awesome. She's an amazing buffer. To me, she feels kind of like a regular dancer, honestly. I like her regular form a lot better. Although this one is pretty stunning as well. Yeah, not much to say here. Gave her the standard dancer kit because she pretty much plays like a regular dancer. Then I have a Sheena, who I've been talking about in my videos. If I ever commit to knights, she is definitely going to be one of the units that's going to be a permanent unit on my team, because her res and defense are just amazing. This encounter, Slaying Axe, and Ignis are amazing too. We have Amelia. I think I tried something for her once and I got her, and then the other time she just showed up randomly, which is interesting. Sadly, I don't think her IVs were the best, but she's still really cool and she's ready to punch somebody with that little fist. We have Crom, who surprised me so much lately. He's also another unit that has been, along with Arden, he's almost always on my armored teams, and just the amount of damage this dude can soak up and return is unbelievable. So I gave him a little bit of love by refining his sack of gifts, and I gave him a res refine so he could be a mixed tank, and he's just been working really well. We have another Crom who I'm not sure if I'm going to merge into the Crom you just saw. I might if I end up using him more, but seasonal units aren't really practical for merges, so I'm debating on who to give Brazen Attack Defense 3 to. I might give this skill to Myr. You'll hear that a lot. Like, I really like my Myr, and I want her to be the best Myr she can be. This is my +2 Minerva. She's really cool. I did the refine for Hot Claire, and I gave her more of a tanky set. Even though I'm running Life and Death, I sometimes switch over to where is it, Fury and Renewal when I do chain challenges, and she's on my flyer team. So that's just an explanation of her builds. You have my Shersha. She's +3. Now she was originally gonna be my +10 project. I kind of dialed that back when I focused on dragons as my core team. Best decision I ever made, by the way. Like, switching to dragons was so much fun. But Shersha still shows up on my flyer teams occasionally. I'm probably gonna take out Brave Axe for Slaying Hammer or a different axe altogether, just because she needs a little bit of extra firepower at higher tiers. So somebody watching the video is gonna be like, my Brave Axe Shersha does really well. I'm glad she does, but at higher merges, she really needs to swing for something with a little bit more might. So yeah. Then we have Erzera. She was a pain for me to get. She didn't show up right away, but she finally did. It was a fun week when we had her as a bonus unit. Having a dancer was really fun. I refined her with Goita and gave her standard Mumbo. and dancer kit. So, but she has been pivotal because now my flyer team has a dancer who can also buff them +6 attack and speed. So it's really amazing. Then we have my Pity Breakers Camilla. I'm not upset at this actually. I plan on building her later. The only problem is that both of the Camillas were really bad IVs. I think they had minuses in defense and res, and one of them was minus attack. I can't exactly remember, but once I find a 4-star with better IVs, I'll be merging her. She'll probably end up passing up my Shersha and merges for reasons. Anyway, then we have my Faye, +5. You guys have seen her on my defense teams as well, on my arena assault teams, all this other jazz. She's just kind of amazing. I thought for the longest time that she was the worst of the dragons, and she was the only green, so I thought that was like a double insult. But she ended up being amazing, and her res, even though it's 38, it's always higher than I think. I might give her steady breath, I might not. I really like Fury build with dragon buffs. It's weird to say dragon buffs because there used to be just one, but with hone and fortified dragons, she just becomes a one-person army. Now, speaking of one unit armies, Myr, oh my gosh. The only thing I can say about Myr that I don't like is that I wish she had a million slots. I wish she had 3 A slots, 3 B slots, so she could run everything in the world. I don't really believe there's a kit that you can put on Myr that isn't good. You can go with Fury Renewal, and Iota Shield, Fury, or sorry, like Fear Stance, Steady Stance, and Guard, and Iota Shield. You can go Heavy Blade, Fear Stance, and Quick Riposte. You can build so much of her, and you can see how many skills I've given her in the second I was just there. But yeah, she has all of this available at her disposal. She has distant counter if you need it. Most of the time she kind of doesn't. You'll have somebody that handles range a little bit better. Sayla decided to say hi, so that's why I had to scroll down. And she's gonna start biting pretty soon. She's scary. We're almost at the end of this video though. So Bowie, 1-star Pity Breaker. I know a lot of you guys really like him. I do too. I might be building him down the road. This is my +4 Deirdre. She used to be a permanent unit on my arena core team, and she might return if dragons ever get really broken again. But I think right now we have a decent balance of knights and dragons. So we have Julia, who I wanted to be a +4. I really like Julia a little bit more than Deirdre, but she showed up with really bad IVs during Hero Fest, if anyone remembers Hero Fest anymore. Then we have Indigo at +2. He doesn't get a lot of love because he broke my percentage like 3 times, which was really sad. I just wanted performing as her, although he's cool. I know he's a fan favorite as well. Then we have Elise, another fan favorite who I built somewhat. I'll use her every now and then for teams, but really until I switch over to Grondblade, probably not going to use her that much. Then we have my Henry, who I was really happy to get. I actually got him with free to play orbs, but he was minus attack. He can still do really well with armor buffs though, and his armor march skill is really good. We have my Cecilia. She's my go-to for Lin checks in the past. She'll be the bonus unit in arena every now and then, so I'm really happy about that. I gave her Wings of Mercy because of the GHB Elite quest, but I normally run her with Bowbreaker 3 for Lin. So, really cool. Then I have my Spring Camilla. Summoning for her on Legendary Banner was a pain because I didn't get her right away, but when I did get her, I got her minus attack, which is still salvageable thanks to flyer buffs. They have my Summer Gaius. He wasn't so much a pity breaker as he was a random YOLO summon. I didn't manage to get any of the other Elysium units aside from him, which was kind of curious. But as a bow user, he's actually pretty respectable in how he works. You can see how much I put into him when I left Desperation 1 on him. He does have enough SP for Desperation 2, but I was saving it, I think, for Brave Bow Plus, and I didn't end up giving it to him, so meh. Then we have Corin. He's essentially what Gordon is, and if I'm going to build a tanky bow unit, I'm going to build Gordon. So that's just my personal preference. I might level him up a little more just for fun, but yeah. You have Takumi, Pity Breaker. Then you have another Takumi, Pity Breaker. He used to be the best unit in this game initially, and now he's just fallen so far that I won't even build him. I had a level 40, but I ended up foddering him off for close counter to my Brave Roy, or to my Bow Roy. I do plan on giving him guard bow down the road, and so I gave him a close counter just to be ready for that. So he's going to be a lot of fun to use. More fun than Takumi, I think. We have Bravelyn, who is very vanilla in every way possible. Like, she is not built anywhere in particular, but I know that she's a really good unit if you're free to play. Then we have my Soth, whatever. Someone's going to correct me in the comments. Amazing unit. I haven't even actually gotten a chance to check out his stats, only because I don't want to get too attached to him because he does have LND 3. I might wait for a 4-star though for that, because I know he has it at 4 stars as well. You know, my pity breaker, Summer Frederick. Who was he pity breaking? He was pity breaking Faye off the legendary banner. I really wanted a Faye. I think her art style is really awesome. It's a shame the way they wrote her character. They wrote her as this needy, like overly obsessed, kind of scary unit who has become a meme online. But I think she deserved a little better than that. So hopefully, maybe if there's ever an Echoes remake in like 2050, like they fix her story. You have Kagero. She was also a pity breaker on a different banner. I was kind of happy about it, but then I realized that her uses have really gone down, sadly. And when I'm playing at the tier I'm playing right now, I see mostly knights and like some dragons, but the dragon I see is like Myrrh, so her effective damage is only as good as whatever the team is, sadly. So then I have my Priscilla, who I was super happy to get. I'm gonna give her the old Razzle Dazzle, and she's gonna play like mini Elise, but I kind of like her better some ways because her art style is so much cooler. In some aspects, she's like the pure version of Elise, although Elise is pure as well. Somebody's gonna get mad at that. It's just that it's nice seeing like somebody without the dark clothing and the Norian stuff. Like she's just really cool. And yeah, that is all of my 5 stars. My gosh, that took a lot longer than I thought. Hopefully you guys skipped around. Let me know if you enjoyed any of these. If there's units that you're building, what are some of the favorite units you have in your barracks? I'd really like to talk to you guys about that. Let me know about what projects you're working on, because even though these are all my 5 stars for now, that doesn't mean that's going to be the case. I do have some units on the way. Xander is definitely going to come up. My Sheeta is going to be merged higher. My Tiki is going to have higher merges. I'm debating what to do with this Tharja. That's a plus 10 4 stars. Perry is another unit that I'm working on. Maybe Grima over here might get some love there. Camilla merges are coming. 4-star Gordon is coming along. So yeah, definitely a lot more stuff coming along the way. And then whoever sent me the Florina, I think it was Supreme Toad Lord last time. Darn you, because now I want to build a Florina, so I'm keeping all my Florinas. I don't know if I will build her or not, but it's definitely a thought. So thank you guys so much for watching this. Sorry if I sound a little bit like dreary or like I'm not a morning person. I woke up really stuffed up, which means flu might be a thing or sickness. I don't know. I really hope not. But yeah. That is it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed my barracks. Sorry a lot of these units are on a budget. I skipped regular Asura. We summoned her on stream. I think I also skipped Eliwood and Roderick and Effie. Oh my gosh, I skipped like a whole section. I will build Eliwood. Effie is refined with Silver Lance. And Roderick was a pity breaker who I'm going to give Fire Sweep Lance to somebody. Maybe Eliwood. We'll see. And yeah. Thank you guys again. Twitter and Discord are in the description, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care.